Welcome back to the WFISD Sports Zone. We're excited to be back this week. We are talking cross country, the sport where they run and they run and they run some more. And we're excited to have all of our cross country coaches here. Guys, thank you very much for joining me. We've got Coach Gonzalez from Wichita Falls High School, Coach Wiersma from Ryder, Coach Buckner from Hershey, and Coach Hawley from Ryder High School. Coach Gonzalez, we've got a lot of viewers out there that may have never been to a cross-country meet. They may not know how it works. Talk to us about how you score points in a cross-country meet, how you determine who wins, who gets second place as a team, and go ahead and tell us how you advance from, say, the district meet to the regional meet.
So in cross-country, we're not like team sports where the highest point wins. We are more like golf, where the lowest point wins. So whatever place you finish, if you finish in first place, you get 1 point. If you finish in fifth place, you get 5 points. So what you're going to do is add up your top 5 runners, and that's your score, and your lowest score wins. So 38 beats a 46, or a 133 beats a 167. It's whatever place you come in. And then the top 3 teams qualify from district to regional, and then the top 4 teams go from regional to state. So the state course is a little bit longer of a start line, so they can have more runners in each box than what we can. We run our regional at Lubbock, and it's tight. It is tight, and it sounds like a herd of elephants when that start line goes across. So if we expanded, there's talk every year with UIL and Texas Girls Coaches Association and Cross Country Coaches Association about increasing the number that can qualify, because it's the top 10 individuals that qualify, but out of region, if they are already on a team that qualifies for state, then they go deeper than the top 10 individuals and move that advanced runner to the next level.
Well, that's fantastic information. And Susan Elza, the athletic director for UIL, is one of my biggest followers and loves this show, and I'm sure she's going to hear that. And so, Susan, if you're out there, we're looking for some changes. And Coach Wiersma, talk to us about the course in Lubbock, because I ran that course in high school. That's long been known as one of the toughest regional tracks that cross-country kids face. Talk about that course.
All right. First of all, the good thing is it's very viewer-friendly. You can see a lot of the race from just about anywhere you are. Some of the downfalls maybe are that it's kind of tight course as far as not being a very wide lane to run in. So you've got a lot of runners trying to get to that small area in a short period of time. So it's pretty competitive there. It was built on a landfill, so there's shards of glass and things that you got to kind of look out for. There's a steep downhill part. There's a couple uphill parts that are pretty solid. So it's a true test of running and regional qualifiers. So it's a good course. It's in Lubbock. You never know what the wind's going to do, so that's always a factor.
I was going to say, I've been out there when it was snowing, and I've been out there when it was about 89 degrees in November for a cross-country meet, so you never know what's coming in Lubbock. Coach Buckner, talk to us about who you find to go out and run cross-country. Where do you find 7 or 10 or 15 kids that want to go run 5, 6, 10 miles a day, then go compete, and the day after they compete, they want to run some more?
Oh, I'm new to cross country, so this is my second year, but the kids that we find for cross country, I know at Hershey, there are athletic kids, but they're a little weird, because kids who want to run, I mean, nobody just wants to run. But the kids I have, they love to run. That's all they do is run. And they're not hard to find. If you put up, hey, let's run cross country, you'll have kids come out at all times.
That's
so it's
awesome.
easy to find.
That's great. Well, I appreciate you calling me weird, because I like to run. That's awesome. Coach, talk to us about planning cross-country workouts. Take the viewers through that. How do you set up your workouts, and do you plan them a week in advance, a month in advance, the whole season? How do you handle that?
We look at ours. We kind of go probably about 2 weeks out is what we do. Figure out when the meet dates are. And with ours are all on Thursday, so we kind of have a longer one on Monday, and we kind of work down during the week to kind of get them fresh. So like today's Wednesday before our Thursday meet, we'll go short today, make sure they're hydrated, fueled up, and then just ready for Thursday, ready to go. But we kind of build down during the week is what we do. And so far it has worked for us pretty well.
Awesome. Coach, you're hosting a cross-country meet tomorrow. What goes into planning a cross-country meet?
Marking the course was probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, because you're out there. We didn't have the wheel, but we have a four-wheeler that we go across the grass, and you mark it. You go through it about 5 or 6 times before you say, okay, I actually got it. Now you have to go out there and paint it, so that's hard, and then you have to flag it, and then you have to remember the medals, and then it's a lot goes into
Wow.
hosting a cross. And I think I let Coach Gonzalez talk me into that, but I don't know about next year.
Well, you're doing a service for a lot of kids, and we appreciate that. Let's switch gears for a minute, Coach Hafley, and we're going to ask everybody the same question. Today's Patriots Day. It's September 11th. Why don't you tell the folks where you were on September 11th when the towers came down, and just talk about your perspective on that as you look back on that.
Looking back, I was at Ryder. We were seniors at Ryder that year when it happened, and I was a teaching assistant for Coach Ward, who is now my assistant coach at Ryder. I was his TA for his English class, and I'd walked out. He sent me to the library to get something, and when I walked in to the library, the first plane had just hit. And so I was kind of watching it, looking at it, and I'd knowing New York, that it was odd. It was odd for something to be downtown inside the buildings. So I went back to class and told him, hey, you might want to turn on the TV. So, something's weird's happening. So we turned on the TV and watched it a little bit there. And then after that, I went to Coach Catney's office, where me, Brad Barham, and Jeff Hill saw the second plane hit live. And so we kind of, as being high school kids, kind of even then knew that some stuff was happening. And then I went home. I'm kind of a news guy. I like watching kind of current news. So instead of going to class that day, I just I checked myself out of school and went home and watched the rest of it at home. But it was a long day. So
Sure, it was a long day. Coach Buckner, where were you?
I was getting dressed to go to the inauguration of our new president at Hardin-Simmons University.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was very somber. I think they canceled the inauguration. They did it the next day due to 9/11. And my roommate and I sat in our living room and we watched the entire thing. And I mean, it was hard not to have tears come to your eyes, but it was rough. And my roommate said that she had family and friends in New York at the time, but none of them were hurt. So, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty rough, not cool, but it was pretty rough.
Yeah. Coach Wiersma?
I was at Ryder doing my job. I was out on the soccer field, and actually I didn't find out about it until after school was out. But my vivid memory is how our nation came together after that, and what a feeling of solidarity and looking back to God and leaning on Him, and that was great.
Yeah. Coach Gonzalez?
I was at Wichita Falls High School, and it was back in the day when we checked for athletes to regain eligibility. So it was my job to go and get the signature of the teacher on the form for the athlete to regain eligibility. And I was walking into the classroom on the second floor, where Coach Evans is now, as the second plane flew into the tower. And to hear the audible gasp of the students in the room was moving. And to have the young lady in my classroom that her father was supposed to be in the towers that day, and to, in the days after, watch her go through not being able to know whether she could reach her father because of all the towers being down, and watching the administration and how they learned to deal with catastrophe and how they supported the students that had family in New York on that day really made me proud of how our administration handled major events like that.
We're going to have a little competition today since we've got all 4 of you here. I have in front of me a list of all U.S. states and capitals. I'm going to ask each one of you 3 states. You're going to have to give your best guess at the capital, and we're going to see who knows the most U.S. states and capitals today. We're going to start down there at the end. Coach Hafley, are you ready?
I'm ready.
We're going to go. Alabama.
Montgomery,
Arizona.
Tucson,
Arkansas.
Little Rock.
Coach, you were 2 for 3. You did
Which
great.
one did I miss?
You missed. It's Phoenix for Arizona.
Okay. Coach
So
Green.
2 for 3 right there. Coach Buckner, you ready?
I'm about to fail this one.
You're going to be okay. Florida.
What? Tallahassee.
Very good. Georgia.
Atlanta.
Hawaii.
Honolulu.
3 for 3. Was she in your class in high school?
Yes, she was.
There we go. All right, Coach Wiersma, here we go. Montana.
Big Sky Country, that's all I know.
Nebraska.
Oh, we are the Cornhuskers. And I don't remember.
The Sooners.
All right, let's go closer to home for your last one. How about New Mexico?
Albuquerque.
You are 0 for 3, Coach. That would be Santa Fe, Lincoln, Nebraska, and Helena, Montana. Now, to the AP U.S. History teacher, here we go.
pressure, right?
No pressure. Are you ready?
I hope so.
Oregon,
Portland.
Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania.
Philadelphia. I'm sorry, she messed me up.
How about South Carolina?
Man, that's some pressure when people are staring at you, isn't it?
You gotta,
They're trying to help me.
you got to
aren't
give an
they?
answer.
Oh my God, why am I going blank?
You're out of time.
I am,
It's
'cause
Columbia.
man.
And you went 0 for 3. Our winner
Wow.
from Hershey High School, Coach Buckner, went 3 for 3. So, guys, thank you very much for coming out. We may do this again as cross country wraps up this year. Let you kind of give an update on how the kids did at district. But, for now, tell all your friends about us. We are currently the most watched YouTube channel being produced at the Career Education Center here in Wichita Falls, Texas. And so we appreciate all of our viewers.